So, welcome to this masterclass. And I'm Udita, and I'm going to take your this masterclass for Power BI. It's for everyone, okay? So, we are welcoming all of you here for this particular session. And I believe whatever inputs I can give you all in these 2 hours, I'll try to give it completely. And warm welcome to all of you present here. Yeah. So, okay. Good to see so many number of people, and I believe that whatever you all are quite enthusiastic about learning some new things, and that's a very good sign. I really appreciate and want people to learn new things every day. This is something we have planned this masterclass for you guys because as you know that in any industry you go, right? I'm not saying only about data science or something machine learning. It's for all the people whoever is dealing with data. So nowadays there is no any job where you are not dealing with data, right? Everyone is dealing with data. So whenever you deal with data, there's a lot of things you need to understand, right? First and foremost, right? Um, what you have to do with the data, how you have to handle the data, right? And for all these things, you have many tools to work for. But today we are going to share with you why this, data visualization tools are so necessary, right? And I will navigate you through the Power BI, scenario, how it looks like, what can we do here, and of course, some very tidbits you can go along to learn Power BI or what you can do in Power BI. Okay. Um, that's all for the session, I believe. And I believe there are many people who have entered, so I believe we can start the session. Yes, guys. Good afternoon, everyone. So I'll be looking at all your messages in between of the session. Also, I'll welcome all the Q&As to be done at the end of the session. The last 10 or 15 minutes, I will specifically keep for all of you so that at least you all can, interact with me and say something, whatever you have in your mind. Anything related to, data science or Power BI or something, right? Whatever you want to ask me, you are welcome for that. All right. So that's all, guys. And it's a weekend. I hope you all are enjoying and just relax and we can start the session. Okay. Hi, everyone. Yeah. So, yes. So I hope we can get started, guys. If it's a yes, then just tell me in the chat box a quick confirmation to all of you. Okay, fine. And I believe my voice is audible to all of you. I believe so, right? Okay, so we can start the session. Okay, guys, thank you. Okay. So the very first thing, before we dive into what is Power BI, first I have to make you realize that Power BI is hope that you know, right? Now, you have heard data visualization tools in the market. Wherever you're going, you get to know that, okay, Power BI, Tableau, Excel, Google Sheets, statistics, Python, SQL. This all things you are hearing it for quite a long time, I believe, right? Whosoever is working in any sector or industry and whosoever is not working as well. All of you have heard particular. Now, this name are basically something related to data analysis or data science. Okay. In this particular field, if anybody is planning to dive into this particular field, one thing you have to make sure is that whenever you're diving into any particular field, you have to understand the knowledge of it. You have to understand why it is so required. Um, Jyoti, everyone, can you hear my voice clearly? Anybody is facing some issue? Or like, is it good to go? Just let me know. Is it okay? Okay, fine, fine, fine. Okay, fine. So if anybody is facing any issues, just I would suggest quickly just, log in once again to this particular webinar. Okay. Um, Okay, some people are saying voice is breaking, some people are saying voice is okay, but okay, fine. So I'll just try to, come in a better position so that you all can hear me clearly. Um, it's clear. Okay, so I would suggest all of you, whosoever is facing, issues regarding. Okay. Just give me a second, guys. Okay. Okay, fine. So I'll do one thing. As of now, I'll just try to switch off my video so that at least you all can hear me properly. The video also takes some space, right? In this. So give me a second. Now is it clear, guys? Can you all? Now is it fine? Okay, fine. So, guys, basically, I was trying to tell you all about the necessity of using this data visualization tools in the market, right? So, whenever you go across any of these particular jobs or any of these particular roles like data analyst, data science, or finance analyst, reporting analyst, all these things, uh, one thing is common in all these particular, jobs. One is called the data, another is called the analysis. Now, when we talk about data analysis, I told you about the different tools that we have come up. Just now, I have mentioned to you all, right? But when I talk about Power BI, Tableau, all these two particular tools are known as the data visualization tools. Now, if I tell you why this called data visualization tools, because here not only we try to analyze the data in the backend, we try to clean the data also. We try to make different analysis within the data also. But here there are many features to present the data in the form of different visuals or graphics. Okay, that's why this called a data visualization tool. Secondly, like you say, whenever I talk to you, let's say I'm just telling you something about, what is, if I tell you that I'm eating an apple, let's say I'm eating an apple. So the very thing that comes to your mind at the very first place is what? The word apple or the image of an apple. Of course, the word image of an apple, right? Or if I say you like what if I'm eating a chocolate, so the very first thing that comes to your mind will be the image of the chocolate. Yes or no, guys? Correct? So that is the thing. That is why, because human brain tries to, attract the images or the visuals more easily than, kind of what you say in the form of different text or different numbers. That's why these visualization tools are so much in trend nowadays for many business making decisions. Okay. Now, coming back to Power BI. Now you have understood why data visualization tools are so important. Secondly, why Power BI now? Why we have arranged this masterclass for all of you? Yeah. Um, the main thing is that when you say Power BI, it basically gives you three different and very engagement kind of a thing rather than Tableau. Now, if I compare Tableau with Power BI, so if I say Power BI, it has some AI features. AI features means what? I can see it as artificial intelligence features. Like say something you are not presenting the visuals as a normal visual. Normal visuals you know already, right? Like say a pie chart, bar chart, right? All these are normal visuals. But when I say AI visuals, these are something that you do it on your own. That means here you are not going to interpret the data. Here the AI feature of Power BI, which is artificial intelligence feature of Power BI, will help you create a visual on its own. So here manual intervention or manpower is not required. Okay, in that case. Now, also if you see the in because Power BI is a Microsoft product, we call it as Microsoft Power BI. So when you say Microsoft Power BI, so Microsoft has its own set of visuals which are known as custom visuals as well. Okay, in Power BI. So custom visuals, what it basically does, that Microsoft page has its own storage of different kinds of visuals. Some visuals are static and some visuals are dynamic. Okay, so we are trying to utilize those particular benefits that Microsoft Store is having for us. All the different visuals. There are almost different categorical data and different categories of custom visuals we have in the Microsoft Store. We can just use it anytime. Okay, it's free of cost. Thirdly, when we talk about the data cleaning process of Power BI, we have the Power Query Editor, which is a data cleaning tool inside the Power BI desktop. So what it basically does, all the different necessities that we have to entertain before we dive into the main data analysis. If the data is not, clean, let's say, if the data is not okay, then we cannot go for the analysis part, right? If there is some errors in the data, if there is some missing values in the data, or if there is some duplicates in the data, that needs to be sorted out first, right? That is called data cleaning. Once the data cleaning is done, then we go ahead with the rest of the things. Okay. So this is what we do, and this is part of the Power BI desktop. But whereas when I talk about Tableau, Tableau doesn't have its own data cleaning tool as such. Okay, Tableau recently has added in 2018 a new data cleaning tool, which is not inside the Tableau desktop. It is another application which is called Tableau Prep, and that also it is not that user friendly. Okay. Secondly, Tableau doesn't have any AI visuals as such, as like we have in Power BI. So for all these reasons, also Tableau doesn't have any custom visuals like Power BI has, because Power BI is a Microsoft product and Microsoft has its own set of its own static and dynamic visuals. These are some of the main things why Tableau is a bit not considered nowadays and Power BI is considered more, because uh, Power BI has its own features and advantages that I have just pointed out in front of you all. Okay. Now, let me share with you the Power BI desktop that I'm going to talk about. Fine. So I'm just sharing my screen here. I hope is my screen visible to all of you. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So now what we have to do is, now you see here, this is my Power BI desktop page. Now inside this Power BI desktop page, I'll let you first explore what's inside it, right? So this is somewhat similar to, in some extent, I would say, those who have used Excel before, or those who have used Excel or are using Excel in a day-to-day life. Some or the other things you can relate here. Okay, in Excel, how we try to see data in the form of rows and column structure, right? Similarly, in Power BI also, we try to see the data in row and column structure. Okay. Now, the very first thing you have to understand when you open this Power BI desktop is what are the different features available here. Where can you go to get some, to work on it? The data stored, where you can see the visuals. What else you can do inside this Power BI desktop? Those are the questions will be coming to your mind, right? So the very first thing you can see right up here, you have this menu bar. So when you talk about menu bar, that means what? One particular option has its own different sub options under it. When I talk about home tab, this is a menu bar. So I have file tab, I have home tab, okay? I have insert, I have modeling, I have view, I have optimize, I have help. All these are different menu bars. Now, under this menu, each and every menu, you can get to see a list of its sub menus or list of its sub options. That means under this home menu tab, what are the different things available inside it? Okay. So under insert menu tab, what are the different options you have inside it to work on? Okay, like that. Now, the second thing I wanted to tell you was is regarding these three buttons, which are very important for you to understand. So the first button that you can see, you don't even have to click on it. Whenever you hover your mouse towards this particular button, it tells you that it is the report view. Okay. Report view means what? When you try to use the visuals and show to the people, right? So here, this is the canvas. You can see this white background is the canvas where actually you're going to drop down the visual step to analyze, right? And this is why this is called a report view, because this is the place where you actually create a report. Okay, report means what? Collection of different sheets together. Okay, and then finally in each sheet we'll be having some collection of visuals under it. Okay, that is called the report view. Coming to the next, which is the table view. You can see the next tab here. When I click on this table view, you'll be getting to see that whatever data we are trying to import inside this Power BI desktop, that particular data will be visible in front of you here. That is the whole data. The contents of the data will be visible under this table view. Okay. As of now, I have not imported any data. That's why you cannot see anything. So once I import any particular data, the whole data will be visible in front of you inside this table view. Okay. Thirdly, I have this model view. Now, what is this model view? Now, let's say I have some data in file A, I have some another data in file B, and I want both the data to be coming under a single visual. If I have to do that, I have to make sure that there should be a proper connection or relationship between the two tables which I have imported in my Power BI desktop. If I don't make a connection or a relationship between the two tables, then what will happen? I will not be able to extract the information from both the files together and join it into one. Okay, that's why this model view is important. So model view is basically used to join the connection between the tables, multiple tables. If you have just one table, then there is no use of any creating relationships. But when you have more than one table, then you have to see if we can make some possible connections between the two files or not. Okay. I hope these three things are clear. This report view, table view, and model view. Okay. Now, this is the canvas I told you, where actually you will be plotting the visuals, okay, one by one. And here, the three things comes. Here you can see this is a filter option. This is filter pane. In this filter pane, what you can do, basically you can filter out the data. Whatever data you have in front of you, not necessary that all the data you want to see in your visuals, right? You want to see only a minimum number of things in your visual. In that case, you have to go to this filter option and filter out the data based on that. Okay. Secondly, the second of this pane is called the visualization pane. So by the name itself, we can understand that what is this pane, right? All the visuals that you have here are part of your Power BI desktop. That these are the visuals you're trying to work on, you can work on, okay, one by one. So different visuals you can see here, right? Coming back to our last pane, which is called the here, basically what you can do, you can try to whatever data you import inside this particular visual, right? In this particular Power BI desktop, that particular file or that particular data will be seen under the data pane. Only the name of the file will be seen, and also the column headings of the file will be seen, but not the whole data. The whole data can be seen only in the data view or the table view. We call it the table view. Okay. Now let's see how to work on Power BI. Okay. First of all, I have to import the data which I'm trying to use here, right? So I will just try to import some few files into it. Okay. And let's see if we can analyze here. I will go step by step everything so that you all can understand everything well. So for importing any particular file inside Power BI desktop, you have to go to this home tab. Okay. Under this home tab, you get to see there is a thing called get data, right? When you click on this get data, you'll be able to see the different data sources that Power BI supports. Okay. So you have Excel workbook, you have Power BI data sets, you have SQL Server, you have text CSV data, you have web. Okay. All different things you can see here. Now, whatever file you're trying to import inside Power BI desktop, that particular file format you choose. Let's say I want to import a Excel workbook. Then I have to click on Excel workbook and all the Excel files will be seen in front of me. From there, I can choose which particular file I want to work on. Okay. Similarly, if I want to import any text or CSV file, I have to go to text or CSV file, this particular option. And from here, I can be able to see what are the different text or CSV files I have under my that particular location in my system. So from there, I can choose the file and I can import directly in my Power BI desktop. Okay. Now let's talk about a text CSV file. I click on it and you will be seeing, let's say under this particular folder, which is my Power BI desktop, or else I can go to another folder. Let's say, okay, I'm going here, and under this I have different CSV files. You can see where, because I have clicked on text CSV file, so only the text CSV files will be seen, not Excel files. Okay, remember that always. Now, in this case, I want to first import, let's say, the categories file, this particular file. Okay, I'll click on it and I'll just click on open. That's it. I'll choose the file and I'll click on open. Wherever the file is located, my file is located in the desktop. So I clicked on the desktop. Under here, I have the categories file. Okay, I click on here and then I'll click on open. As soon as I do that, what you'll be able to see is the review of the file. That means how the data, you can see here categories.csv. So it is a CSV file, and what is the data inside this particular file, you can see here, right? So you can see here, these are the two rows, and this is what the data is there inside this particular category file. So when you go down, there are three options here. One is called load, one is called transform, one is called cancel. When I say load, what will do? This particular file will be directly imported to my Power BI desktop. Okay. When I say transform data, so it will not be directly loaded to my Power BI desktop. Instead, it will come to the Power Query editor directly. And what is the Power Query editor? I just mentioned that it is the data cleaning tool of Power BI. That means whatever data I need to manipulate first, I need to clean first, all these things I will do in my Power Query editor. Once it is done, then I will load that particular changes inside my Power BI desktop. Okay, so that is what we do. Now, to understand this, let me go and first show you how to click on load and what will you see here. So first, because I've imported this categories.csv file, I'll be simply clicking on load first. Okay. So when I click on load, you can see what is happening. So the file is loaded in the system, right? Now, for your convenience, what I will do, I'll try to share the data sets with you all in the chat box as well, so that if anybody is with me using Power BI right now, you all can do with me, or you all can get the data sets and do it on your own, okay, later on. I'm just sharing the data sets here. Give me a second, guys. Just hold on. I'm just sharing the data sets, okay? So the data sets that I'm going to use here, I'm just, there are multiple actually. So I'm just, give me a second. Okay. So one of the data set is products. The one that I'm using is the categories file. I'm sharing that also. And one more file that I'll use is, I'll show you, that's the customer. Okay. Yes, Aryan, I could have actually, I again need to create a zip file. So that will take some time. That's why I'm just quickly sharing the file so that all of you can get to see it. Okay. And 2015 sales data. Okay. And what else? I believe it's done. These are the files that we are going to use here. Okay. One is your products, one is the categories, one is the sales. Okay. And another use your customer directory. Okay. Some files are a bit long, a bit, having too much of data. That's why it might take some time for you, okay, to load in the, yes. After attending this our masterclass of Power BI, obviously you'll be getting a certificate. Okay. Okay. Yes. So the data is getting loaded in your chat box, and you can just see to it. It takes some time to load inside the chat box because the data set is a bit long and heavy. That's why. Okay. So in short, I have sent you all customers file, products file, 2015 file, and categories file. Okay, all of you. Yeah, so it is getting loaded, Praveen. Just give me some seconds because the data is long. That's why it's taking time to load in the chat box. Okay. Until then, so anybody who is working, how to install Power BI? Okay, so how to install Power BI? That again, you have to just a minute, huh? I'm sharing one more thing to you all. Give me a second. As of now, Gaurav, I have just loaded the categories file in my Power BI desktop. Okay. So give me a minute. So I'm just sending the Power BI installation guide also to all of you. It is a Word document. So whosoever has not installed Power BI desktop, you all can please watch this particular guideline. Everything is done in a picturization format so that at least you all can see the pictures and then you can follow the steps to download this Power BI desktop in your system. Okay. So I have also sent that. Um, the customers file has got loaded. Okay. Just give me a second. I hope it's got loaded. So I have sent you. Okay. Okay. Now let's get started. Okay. I hope everybody has got the file whosoever wanted to practice with me now. So the very first thing what I have done, I have just imported the categories file. I've just shown you how to do it. You just have to go to home tab. Under this home tab, you have to get to this get data part. And under here, you have to select the type of file that you want to import. So as of now, the categories file is what? It's the CSV file. So I have to click on text CSV, which is the file format. And under here, when I click on it, all the CSV files will be appearing in front of me. So from there, I can select the type of file that I want. I mean, which file I want. So just click on that particular file and then just click on open. And then that you're good to go. You can simply load the file. Okay. Now you can see what is happening. I have imported the categories file successfully, and you can see the name categories file here inside the data pane right up here where my cursor is facing. And when I expand this particular categories file, you'll be able to see the column names here, right? Column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. As of now, this particular categories file has no header names in it. That's why you are seeing just column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. Okay. Now, the second file that I want to import, I don't want to import here. Where I want to import in my Power Query editor, which is my data cleaning tool of Power BI. It is inside the Power BI desktop only. Okay. So one import I have shown you when you are there in the Power BI desktop, right? And one import I will show you when you go to the Power Query editor. There also you can import the files directly. Okay. So for that, let me share the screen as a whole to you all so that you all can see everything. Give me a second. So I'm just sharing the screen. Okay. So is my screen visible, guys? Again, I believe. Okay, I believe so. All of you can see my screen. Yeah. Now, what I want to do here, for going to my Power Query editor, which is my data cleaning tool of Power BI, in my home tab, under here, I have a thing called transform data. Okay. So I need to click on this transform data, go to the down arrow, and there is a thing called transform data again. So I have to just click on it, and you will be heading towards your Power BI desktop data cleaning tool, which is called the Power Query Editor. You can see right above here, the name is written here, Power Query Editor, right? Now, what you have to do here, first of all, I told you that you can import the files here also. You don't have to go to Power BI desktop to do that, because at the end of the day, whenever you import any file, you're not going to do the data analysis directly. First, you need to clean the file, then you have to do the data analysis. So the very next step is to clean the file, right? So for cleaning the file, you obviously have to come to Power Query Editor. That's why I would always is called a whole number, right? So I have to match that particular correct data type of this particular column, which is whole number data type. I'll click on this whole number and immediately you can see that this particular ABC 123 has got changed to only 123 because 123 is nothing but whole number. You can see the icon of each and every or symbol of each and every data type. For whole number, it's 123. For text data type, it's ABC. For date data type is the calendar, right? For decimal number is 1.2. All these are symbols of the different data types. Okay. Similarly, for category name. Now, this category name is not a number. It is a text, right? All the data written here are in the form of letters. So, whenever any data is in a form of text or letters, we call that as a text data type. So, again, when I go to this ABC 123, I can choose the correct data type for this particular column, which is text, which is ABC. Okay. Done. So this is all I wanted to do in my this particular categories file. Now, quickly let's go to the products file. Okay. Under this products file, if you see, I have different columns here. Product key, product subcategory key, product SKU, product name, model name. If I just scroll right, I'll be getting to see more things. Product description, then product color, product size, right? And if I go to the extreme right, I get to see all other things, right? Product style, product cost, product price. Okay, and every column, you'll get to see that all the data types here are correct, right? If I just tell you the product key column, it's a whole number data type, right? Because all these are non-decimal, numbers. So they are whole numbers. So that's why you can see it is a whole number data type, which is 1, 2, 3. For product SKU, product name, model name, all these columns, if you see, the data is stored in the form of text, right? Which is text means what? Anything which is other than number, okay? Like letters, special characters, all this belong to text data type. So all these are written in ABC format. So this is the text data type of this particular columns, right? And when I just simply move to the right, extreme right, I can see the product cost, product price column. All these are in whole, not whole numbers. All these are in decimal numbers, right? That's why the data type of these two columns are in decimal whole, decimal data type. So 1.2 is the decimal data type. I showed you. When you click on 1.2, you'll be getting to see the list of data types here. So 1.2 is a decimal number data type, right? So it is correct. So here data types are correct. I don't have to work on the data types in this particular products file. The only thing I have to do here is not in this file. I'll go to another file, which is the sales file. Okay. So for the first two files, I hope you are clear what are data types and what you need to check here, right? Thirdly, if I go to my sales table here, under here, I have the dates column first, order date and stock date, right? I have the order numbers here, the product key here, customer key here. And if I just go to the right side, I'll be able to see territory key, order line item, and order quantity. Order quantity, order line item, territory key, customer key, product key. All these are whole numbers, right? That's why you can see the data types are represented as 1, 2, 3, which is called whole numbers. So this is completely fine. Order number is a text data type. Though it is having numbers, it is also having the letters in it. S and O, right? The first two are letters. So whenever this kind of thing comes, where there is a mixture of letters as well as numbers, always consider that as a text data type. So this is a text data type, which is ABC. This is also correct. But whenever you go to the extreme left, you can able to see this is the order date column, this is the stock date column, and these are dates, right? But they have been represented as ABC, which is a text data type. But it is not a text data type, correct? It is a date data type. So if I go to my data type list, I'll be able to see there is a date data type also. So it should be this, right? Because both of the columns are dates. But you have to understand one thing. Whenever if I click on date, let's say, if I just choose the correct data type of this particular order date column, let's say date. Once I select this particular data type as date for this particular column, so you can see what is happening. It has got changed to a proper date format as the date format I have in my system. So in my system, the date is written in this particular format. Okay. Now coming back to a next, which is the stock date, I'll go to again, click on this particular thing. And I'll change this to date data type because obviously it's a date data type, right? I'll click on this and it has got converted to date data type. And you can see the icon just below here. But here, what else you can see? As soon as I have changed the data type of the stock date column from ABC, which is a text data type, to what? Date data type, these errors are coming. Why these errors are coming? Because here the dates are mentioned in the US form, okay? English US form. So I have to tell Power BI, because Power BI is not able to understand that what are these? They are dates. But we know that they are dates, but Power BI is not able to understand because the dates are not in a proper format, right? So I have to tell Power BI that these are dates, but they are belonging to the English US format. So for this, I have to go to my BI desktop page, right? This is my Power BI desktop page. Here I have to make some settings in the backend so that I can tell Power BI that no, this is a date column only, but what is happening that this particular date column is not in a particular understandable order for Power BI. So to make Power BI understand, I have to go to File. Under this file, I have Options and Settings. Okay. Again, I have to go to Options. And here I'll be able to find the things. Let me just take it on one. Now here, if you see, you can get to see under the current file, because we are working on the files that we have imported in Power BI, right? So I have to choose the current file option. Under here, I have to go to the regional settings. When I click on the regional settings, here you can see the date is actually set as English India, right? But actually the dates in the stock, date column are in English US format. So in that case, I have to just click on this particular thing and select the English US format, which is here in this particular list you can find. All right, if you just go a bit down, so that's the one, English United States. So that is actually the proper date format which is there in the stock date column. So when I do this, immediately what will happen? Power BI will understand that that is actually a date, and now it will not show you error. I've already set that particular thing, right? So now I just have to click on OK. Now, when I go back to my Power Query editor again, now I just have to click on refresh. Okay. Under the home tab, if you go, there's a thing called refresh preview. Click on the down arrow and just click on refresh all. Not the preview, but refresh all. And immediately you can see all the errors have gone away, because now Power BI understood that those are actually dates but written in English US format. Okay. So that is the thing why we need to do that sometimes. Okay. Now, when this is done, so this is all about the sales data. Now, the last data set that we are going to work on, which is customers data. Here, let's see what we can do. So here we have different columns like customer key, prefix, first name, last name, right, of the customers, the birth date of the customers. Now, if you check the data types also at the same time, customer key is a whole number, so it's a whole number data type. Prefix, first name, last name are text data type. You can see ABC here, correct? But again, the birth date column here is in text data type, but it is a date, right? So I have to change this particular data type of birth date to date. Okay. I'll replace this current thing, and immediately you can see it has got changed to date data type, this particular birth date column. Okay. If I go to the right side, I can see the mental status, gender, email address, all these are in text data type, that is fine. Annual income column here, it is in ABC format. So it is not a text, right? Annual income is what? It's a number kind of thing, right? So I have to choose anything. I can just simply put it as whole number. If I just put it as whole number, It works, and you can see the annual income column has changed to whole number from the text data type, right? Then total children is a whole number, education level, occupation, and the rest are text data type. So now everything is perfect. These are the basic and a very basic, data formatting that you need to understand. Checking the correct data types, and if they are not correct, you have to set them in correct data types. Why is it necessary? Because whenever you're going to work on further in different analysis of this particular files, if the data is not correct, the data type is not correct, you will not get the exact answer for this. That's why it is always necessary to check and set the proper data type of each and every column, whatever you have imported in your Power BI desktop. Okay. Now, what I need to do next, let's say, because I've imported so many files, right? Changes I'll try to do here so that you can understand what the changes I want to do. Let's say I'm in my what do you say, customers file. Under this customers file, you can see prefix, first name, last name. Actually, this is a whole name only, right? Prefix, first name, and last name. That is the name of the person is Mr. John Yang. But the thing is that this whole name is bifurcated into three different columns. I don't need to see this whole name in three different columns. I want to see it in a single column. Okay. So what will I do? I'll just select the column to join as one single column. So I selected the first column, which is prefix. I press on the control keyboard. So on the inside the keyboard, you'll be able to see the control key, CTRL key. Click on the control key and then select the next column. Then select the next column. Why control key? Because if you don't select the control key, you cannot select multiple columns together at the same time. That is the reason. Okay. So that's what you can see here. Prefix, first name, last name. Right? All these three columns I have selected. Now what I want to do, I just want to go to transform. Under this transform, I just need to select merge columns because all these are columns, right? And all these are rows. The horizontal ones are called rows. The vertical ones are called columns, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, all these are called rows and all these are columns. Now I want to merge these three columns. Merge means what? Joining all the three columns into one single column. Merge means join, okay? That means what? In a single column, this prefix, first name and last name will be seen all the three together under one single column. So I click on merge columns here. When I click on it, now this particular box will open in front of you. Okay. Here you have to choose the separator. Separator means what? Whenever you write your name, right? Generally, when you write your name, you write your first name, space, and then your last name. Correct? You give a space in between them. So that is the separator. That space is called a separator. So I have to go to my separator. Here I have to select the separator that I want to choose for joining the prefix, the first name, and the last name. That is prefix, space, first name, space, and last name. So the separator here I'll consider is the space. I have different separators also. You can see here. Colon, comma, equal sign, colon, space, tab. So you can choose any of the separator to join the three names together. But in my case, I'm just selecting this space as of now. Okay. And I want to name this new column because these three columns will be converted into one single column, right? So I can name this column as full name. Okay. Now what you can see, three names, all the three, the prefix, the first name and the last name. All the three columns have gone and all the three columns have got converted into one single column, which is called full name. Okay. This is one data cleaning I wanted to do. Second data cleaning that I'm concerned about is what else I could. Yes. Let's under my this email address column, right? I have the whole email address in front of me. That is john24@adventureworks.com. Okay. I don't want to see this whole thing together. I just want to see the first part of the email address. That is the username of the email address. What is the username? Any text which is written what? Before the at the rate. Whatever text is there mentioned before the at the rate, that is called the username, right? Like in John 24, this in the first case, John 24 is the username. In the second case, Eugen 10 is the username. Third case, Ruben 35 is the username, right? I just want to show or extract only the usernames from this email address column. So what will I do here? I have to just select the column here for which I want to extract the usernames. I can go to this extract. Okay. Under this extract, there are many options here. The one option in this particular case, which is suitable, is what? Text before the delimiter. Now, what is a delimiter? Delimiter or separator is the same thing. Now, in this case, the username and the rest of the email address is separated with the at the rate. Correct? So at the rate is the separator, or we call it as a delimiter. Okay. What I want to extract, only the text before the at the rate. So I choose this particular option, which is text delimiter. And what is the delimiter? Here I need to mention the delimiter as well, which is at the rate. That's it. I just have to click on OK, and you can see that the rest of the data, which is at the rate adventureworks.com, has got removed, and only the usernames are there in front of me right now. Okay, this is called extract. One more feature of Power BI. Now, one more thing. Let's say I'm in my full name column. Yeah, this is my full name column, correct? Here, all the letters of all the names are in capital letters. Let's say I don't want to show this as capital letters. I want to show them as any proper case, let's say. What is the proper case? The first letter is capital, rest are small, right? So I want to show all the letters in that way. What will I do? Under the transform tab again, you have a format option here. Okay, click on the format option, and there is a thing called uppercase, lowercase, capitalize each word, all these things. So I need to capitalize each word. When I click on this capitalize each word, all full names have got converted to proper case. Okay, first letter capital, rest of the letters are small in each and every word. Okay. One more thing I needed to talk to you all is about the products table. Okay. This products table, this is my product SKU column. Okay. Under this product SKU column, if you see, this whole text that is under this whole product SKU column, each and every text is separated, right? That means what? HLU509R. HL is one part of data, U509 is another part of data, and R is another part of data. That means all the three data are under one single column, which is product SKU. I need to split this column. Split means what? Divide this column into three parts or two parts, depend upon the data it is holding, right? In some, I have three parts of the data, but in some cases, I have only two parts of my data. In the second case, if you see, I have HL U509, but not R. So here I have two parts of the data, right? So whatever it is, I'm having two parts or parts of the data. I need to split, or I need to bifurcate this product SKU column into three different columns. Okay. So what will I do? I'll select this particular product SKU column. Okay. I'll do one thing. I'll go to split column. Under this transform tab, you can see there's a thing called split column. I'll click on it. And how do I want to split this? By delimiter again, right? Because if you see in each and every case here, let me remove it. In each and every case, in each and every product SKU, all the text are bifurcated or divided based on the delimiter. Now this time, what is the delimiter? The hyphen, correct? So here I need to choose the delimiter that I'm working. So here I'll go to split column by delimiter, and Power BI will understand which delimiter I'm talking about. So here I have a list of delimiters in front of me, but from all this list, the delimiter is not matching. So when you don't have a delimiter under this particular list of delimiter option, I can go to simply custom, and under here I can just mention the delimiter, which is hyphen, correct? So because I have to split the whole column into 3 different parts based on the delimiters, so I have to select each occurrence of the delimiter. That is, if the delimiters are occurring 2 times, that means what? 3 data are separated with the 2 delimiters, right? Like the one that I've shown you here. 3 parts of the data are separated by 2 delimiters, correct? So HL, U509 and R, right? So here I need to select the delimiter and each occurrence of the delimiter. I just need to click on OK. So what you can see here, can you see product SKU1, product SKU2 and product SKU3? This whole column has got bifurcated into 3 different parts. The first part of the data, the second part of the data and the third part of the data. Wherever there is no third part, it has got null. That is, it is null and void. The space is empty. But wherever there is any, data, it has got split into different columns. This is called splitting of the columns. Okay. One more thing I need to tell you all is about, let's say, here only, let me give you a hint. In my this product SKU1 column, okay, here I have different product names, product codes I mean to say. I have HL, I have SO, I have CA, I have LI, right? And FR also. What I want to do, I want to replace the values. Wherever it is showing you HL, it should be replaced by H, let's say. Wherever it is showing you SO, it should be replaced by S. Wherever it is showing you CA, it should be replaced by C and like that. Okay. So for replacing the previous value with the current value, I have to go to the particular column where I want to do this. There in the transform tab, I have a replace value option. Okay. I just need to click on the down arrow and click replace values. Now, the very first thing that I want to replace what? Under this particular column, all HL, that is all the previous data, which is having HL as the data, I want to replace this old text as a new text, which is H. Okay, that's it. I just need to click on OK. And you get to see that all the HLs has got replaced with H. Similarly, the same step I can repeat for replacing the SO values to S. So I have to write here the previous value, which is SO, and I'm replacing this with the current value, which is S. Okay, that's it. Similarly for CA, I need to replace that with C. I'll write as CA, and I'm replacing this with C, and I'm clicking on OK. All right, and that's it. I've shown you some of them. You can do the rest of the things, right? Replace values, and I want to replace all FR with F. I'll click on OK. That's it. Okay. One more thing is left, which is LJ, I believe, or LI, whatever it is. I want to replace this LI value, LJ, I believe it's LJ with, let's say, L. Okay. That's it. So you can see all the values under this particular product SKU1 column, I have replaced the values from the older values to new values. Okay. So this is all the basic formatting that we can do in Power Query Editor of Power BI Desktop. All right. And you can see all the things that I'm doing in each particular file is being loaded and it's seen in the applied steps here, one by one, right? Now, what I want to do, whatever changes I've already made under this Power Query Editor, I need to save it. If I don't save it, what will happen? The changes will not be reflected in my Power BI Desktop. Okay. Yeah, so how to deal with the null values, how to delete a column, right? So for this, if I have to go to my, let's into this null values, right? So product SKU3, I have some null values here. You can simply use the replace option again, right? Wherever you find these null values, you can replace them with anything. Let's say you can write some text there as it is a text data type, right? This particular product SKU3 column. All these are in text, some are in numbers, doesn't matter. So you can replace them with 0. If you don't have any information, you can just replace them with 0. So let's say I'm replacing all the null values with 0. I again go to my transform, replace, okay, and here I will replace all what? Null values with 0. That's it. Okay, and you can see all the nulls that got converted to 0. Okay, how to delete a column? Of course, I'll show you that. So in that case, I have to just click on the particular column which I want to delete. Let's say, just a minute, huh? Let's say I want to delete from here let's say I want to delete this column only, product SKU3 column. This is not that necessary column. So what can I do? I click this particular column and there's a thing called remove. When I click on remove, this particular SKU3 column will be deleted from my data set. And you can see removed columns, right? And what else you all want to know? Just a second. Cannot see the whole thing. Join table that Adi Narayan. RT, there are some null values in the customers table. Yeah. So whenever you have any null values in any of the tables, just replace them with whatever just now what I've shown you. Okay. So there might be null values here as well somewhere. So you can just, choose the, but yeah, these are the null values, right? Other annotation level, some null values are there. We can simply replace them with. So these are actually not null. Actually, it is empty. It's completely blank. Okay. So what I have to do is select the particular column where you have to replace the data. And now you go to replace values, right? And this is an empty value. Not even, it's not written anything, not even null. So I want to replace the empty value with what? Whatever I want to. Let's say I'll put it as no data. Sorry, no data. That means all the empty cells, the level column will be replaced with no data. I'll just click on OK. Now you'll see this empty cell has got replaced with no data. Now there is no any null or empty cells here. Okay. I hope everyone understood. Yes, Shubham, this session is recorded and you'll be able to see that thing as well. And I hope I've answered most of your queries, right? Now. Yes, you can take a break if you all want to. I don't mind. So it's okay. Anything else? Okay, so now we'll be moving towards the next part because we have done the data cleaning. Now I'm going to the next part, which is called the connecting between data sets. Okay. Now, guys, because we have done all the basic, thing that we could have done under this Power Query editor, I have shown you all. Okay. Now, what we can do, we can simply save the changes that we have made inside this Power Query editor. I'll go to this, home tab. Okay. Under this home tab in the Power Query editor, you can get a thing called close and apply. Okay. Don't directly click on close and apply. Just click on the down arrow here. Now there are three things. One is called apply, one is called close, one is called close and apply. Okay. So you always have to click on the first option, which is close and apply. If you don't do this, what will happen? The changes will not be same. Okay. And when you move to a Power BI desktop, the changes that you have done inside the Power Query editor for all the files will not be saved there, and that will not be reflected in the Power BI desktop. So that's why I have to click on close and apply from here, choose the first option, and now you can see all the data, all the changes that you have imported inside the Power Query editor. You can see it's loading and all the things are getting created under this particular Power BI desktop. Because this is my main sheet, right? Here I need to work on. Power Query was a page where we can do some different data cleaning process. When this is done, you can see all the files are there inside my Power BI desktop now, right? These are the files that I've imported through my Power Query editor. Also, I have renamed the sales 2015 file to sales see this has also got changed here. So all the necessary changes that I has got reflected in my Power BI desktop here. Okay. Now coming back to our next segment, which is called connecting the data, connecting the files, right? Uh, can you this? I mean, everyone is saying the screen is paused. Is it paused? Is fine, guys? Just let me know. Not pause. Actually, this is the actual that we were working. Visuals cannot move like this, Adil. I'll show you the visuals now. But before we move on to visuals, I want to involve this, joining in Power BI, joining the different data sets that we have done. Okay. Abhishek, you don't need to download Power Query Editor. Inside the Power BI desktop only you have the Power Query Editor. You just have to go to under the Home tab, Transform Data. Under here, just click on Transform Data. You'll be immediately moving to your Power Query Editor. This one. Okay. So I'll move from here now because I don't need any Power Query Editor now. So what is the concern now is simply to work on this Power BI desktop. I have done the data cleaning process. Now the third process is connecting the files because I have multiple files imported here. I have 4 files imported here, right? How to make a connection now? Let's see. I told you this is the report view where I have to use the visuals to get different types of data, right? In the form of visuals. In the data view or table view, when you go, what I told you, you get to see the whole data of a particular file. So if I click on the customer's file, you get to see the whole data of the customer's file here. Okay. And this is the model view, the last one, where we are going to work now specially. Okay. Now, in this case, the relationships has already been made, okay, by Power BI, but this is not what I want because I want you all to understand before we click on relationships, I need to understand 2 concepts specifically, okay? What are those concepts? Let me tell you. But before that, let me first remove the connection that has been created by Power BI. So these are the 2 connections that has been made by Power BI. Let me remove the 2 connections. So if I have to remove a particular connection between the 2 files, just right click on this particular line, that is the connection here, and just delete it. That's it. It's asking you, do you want to delete the stable relationship? Yes. Just click on yes. Okay. Similarly, if you have to delete the next relationship between the sales table and the customer table, this relationship, just right click and click on delete. That's it. Okay. Now we can see all the relationships have ended. Now the next thing what I want to do here is first let me explain you why do we need to create a relationship. Okay. To make you aware of that, let us take an example. So let's say I'm in my products table and sales table, right? Let's see the, between products table and sales table. So if I go to my report view, let me create a connection. Let me make a visual as of now. Let us take any other visual. Let's say taking a table visual here. This is table visual, okay? And when you click on any of the visual, it will be appearing in the canvas here. And whatever data you need to enter inside this particular visual will be seen here. You can see where you have to place the data for this particular visual that you have selected right below here, where it is written here columns. Columns means what? All the different columns that I want to bring from different tables under this particular table view. Okay, I need to just drag that particular columns and drop it under this column section. Okay. Now, I was talking about the sales table and the products table, right? So let's say I have some data in my products table. Let's say I'm taking the product names here. Okay. And I have one data in the sales table. Let's say I'm taking the order quantity column from here. And I'm placing it right up here. Okay. So what I did, I have just taken one part of data from the products table and another part of data from the sales table. Both are different tables, right? And there is no connection between them as of now. Now, if you see the data here, whatever you have got, I'll zoom it a bit. So can see here, all the product names are mentioned here, but the order quantities here are showing you the same, right? They are not different. Why is it? Because there is no connection, right? Uh, is it lagging, guys? What I'm not like. Give me a second. Now is it okay? Now can you hear me? Okay. So what will I do here? Let's say I'll do it once again for you all, okay, so that you all understand the relationships. So what basically we're trying to do here, let me notice. Okay, I'm in my model view. Okay, this thing I hope you all have understood. What is a model view? Here we basically try to create the relationships, right, between the different tables that we have imported. Now I have multiple here, and I need to make a connection between them, right? So, but before I wanted to make some connection, what I want to do, I will go to my report view. Under this report view, if you see, I have created a particular visual, which is a table visual. Under this visualization section, I have clicked on this table visual, and you can see this table visual is appearing in front of me. Okay, now in this visual, I have just dragged and dropped two columns from two different tables. So from the first table, which is the products table, I have dragged the product name under here in the column section. And similarly, in the sales table, I have just dragged the order quantity column and dragged it under here in the column section. Now, what I wanted to show, for each product name, I wanted to know the order quantity, right? But if I go to, zoom this particular thing, if you all can see that all the product order quantities, right? All the order quantities here for all the product names are what? Uh, Guys, am I audible? Like, I can see people saying something. Can you all hear me, Nestle, guys? Okay, okay, fine. Okay, uh, okay. Now, just look into it. Just understand what I'm trying to say. Now, if you see here, right? Just a minute. Screen is lagging, but I'm just trying to sync with the screen, but I myself is not getting to understand where the screen is showing you all and where you're lagging. So that is the thing I'm just thinking. But I'll try to sync up with it. Okay. So what actually I'm trying to say here, when I have included this table view and I have dragged the two columns from two different tables, as of now, the products table and sales table are not synced together, are not connected together, right? So what is happening? One part of data, this product name data is from one table, products table, and order quantity data is from the sales table. Now, if you see all the order quantity showing same for all the product names, but this is not the correct data, correct? Because the order quantities of all the product names should be different. It cannot be same for all the products, right? So there is some discrepancy in this product data. What is the discrepancy here? This is nothing but this is actually the connection between them. So I have taken the data from the products table and the sales table, correct? So without making a connection between the two tables, I cannot get the perfect data from them. So what will I do? I have to go to the model view. Under here, I need to make a connection between the sales table and the products table. Now to make a connection between the two tables, I have to understand one thing, that there should be a common column between the two tables. Only if there is no common column between the two tables, I cannot make a connection between them. Only if there is common column between them, then only I make a connection. So If you see here, what is the common column between them, between the products table and the sales table? Product key, it is mentioned here also, and product key, it is mentioned here also. So this is the common column between them, the product key and the product key. Okay. Now, how to make a connection between them? That is the thing, right? So what will I do? I'll go to my data view to explain one thing. If I'm going to my products table here, right? So here, what can I see? Under this product key column, all the product keys are unique. There is no any repetition of product keys here. Okay. All the product keys are unique. There is no any duplicate or the product keys here. All the product keys are different. But when I go to my sales table, I'm going here, if you see, one product is mentioned so many times. You can see 312, one product is mentioned more than once, right? Then 313 is also mentioned more than once. This 313, 313, right? So when I have identified the column between the two cells, now the main thing is to identify which is the primary key and which is the foreign key. So primary key is the where there is no repetition of data. Like in the products table, in the product column, there is no any repetition of any product keys here. So this is called the primary key, okay, of this particular products table. But when I'm using a primary key of one table in another table, so in my sales table, if you go, I also have the product key here. But this product key is actually the primary key of the products table. So when I use the primary key of one table in another table, then what you can see that there is repeated values under the product key column. Okay, understood? So when I have repeated or duplicate values of a particular column, that is called a foreign key. Simple as that. Okay. First, you have to identify which is the primary key and which is the foreign key. I'm dealing with two tables right now, products table and sales table, right? So I have identified the common column between them. What is the common column between them? The product key, this product key and this product key, right? In both the tables. But this product key is taken as the primary key because here under this particular product key, all the product keys are unique. They are not duplicates. But when I talk about this product key under the sales table, here the product keys are repeated many times, having duplicate values. So this is called the foreign key. Okay. Now, if I have to join both the tables, the product table and the sales table, I have to join from the from the primary key to the foreign key. How to do that? I can just simply go to this manage relationships. I'll click on manage relationships here. Here I have to choose the tables which I have to. So the first table is products table. Second table is the sales table, right? Sales table. Now I have to connect both tables with the common column. I can see immediately the common column between the two tables has got identified. Both the columns are highlighted. You can see this product key column, this product key column has got highlighted. And the connection between them that will be created will be one to many. You can see one to many relationship. Why? Because in products table, the product key column what? Is not repeated. All the product keys are unique. So it is one. But when I go to my sales table in the product key column, all the product keys are repeated. So it is many. Okay. So primary key is behaving as one and the foreign key is behaving as many stars. One colon star. That means one to many. Okay. So this is a one to many relationship between the products table and the sales table. Now, when I click on OK, you'll get to see a relationship has got created between the products table with the product key and the sales table with the product key. So, primary key and foreign key. That's it. And I'll just click on close and you can see a connection will be getting created between the two tables you can see here. So now when the connection has got created, if I go to my report view, You can see the order quantities are now looking different because now there is a connection between the two tables and I get to see the correct order quantities of all product names here. Understood, guys, how to create a relationship? So I was talking about, I hope everybody got it. What I need to I need to say, what I need to repeat. Can anybody tell me which particular portion I need to repeat for you? How to make the connection? Akhil, it might get shared to YouTube, might be later on. I'm not thinking about now, but as of now, yeah. Okay, connection thing. Okay, let's work on it. Okay, let's do again. So what I did was, I go back here. So because I wanted to connect the products table and the sales table, right? Why? Because I have inside this particular visual that I have created, I have one data from the products table, one data from the sales table, right? So product name is from the products table and order quantity is from the sales table. But before I created a connection, what happened? I hope everybody saw that all the order quantities were of the same order quantity for all the product names, right? Which was not a correct data. So to make this particular thing a correct data, I have to make a relationship between the two tables. So what will I do here? I go to my model view. Here I'll make a connection. Let me remove this connection and do it again for all of you. Okay. So if you see here, products table and sales table, right? So first I need to identify the common column between them if I have to make a connection. So product key from the products table and the product key from the sales table. In both these cases, this is the common column between them, product key, right? But if I have to identify which is the primary key and foreign key, I can go to my data view or table view. Under this, if I go to my products table, you can see that all the product keys are unique here. They are not repeated. Okay. And if you want to check it, you can just go to the down arrow of this particular product key column. And here you can apply the filter. You can just select any random product number, let's say product key, let's say 226. And I click on OK. So you can see, if you check it like this, you'll also get to know that there is no any duplicate value under this product key column. All the product keys are unique. Only once it is created. Okay. But the same thing, right? If I just go to my sales table now, I'm going to my sales table. Under this sales table, I have this again product key column here, right? Now, if I check on any of the product keys, let's say I'm checking for 314, let's say, you can see how many times this 314 is repeated, right? Because this is the product key. Product key means what? A unique identification of a particular product. That means what? This particular product, which is having the product key 314, has got sold many times, right? So how many times this particular product has been sold? That many number of times this particular product is repeated here. Because it is a sales table, right? So one product, how many times it has got sold, that many number of times that particular product key is getting repeated, right? So this is called the foreign key. When a particular, in this particular case, the product is repeated many times, this is called the foreign key here. And in the products table, right, this product key under this particular column, here no data is repeated. So that's why it is called the primary key. Now I have to join the primary key with the foreign key. How do I do that? I have to go to model view and I have to select the two tables which I want to connect, products and sales table. So what will I do? I'll go to manage relationships. I have to choose the tables which I want to connect. So the first table is the products table, right? And the second table I want to connect is the sales table, right? Immediately you can see both the product key columns in both the tables have got highlighted because that is the common column between the two tables. Now the relationship between the two tables is one to many. You can see cardinality means what? The relationship type. So it's one to many. One to many means why? Because in the products table, each of the product is repeated only once. But whereas in the sales table, a product is repeated multiple times. That's why it is called one to many. Okay. I just have to click on OK now and close it, and you can see a connection is built between the products table and the sales table. Okay. This is how you make a connection between them. Understood, guys, now? Yes. Okay. Now, similarly, you can do it for the sales table and the customers table. If I look at both the tables, what is the common column between them? Sales table and customers table. That's the customer key, right? If you look at both the tables here, these are the column names, right? So here also I have the customer key, and here also I have the customer key. Now, which is the primary key, which is the foreign key? Again, you can do the same process that I have done. In the customers table, if you go, I have the customer key here, and here I don't have any repeated customer key values here. If you check the way I did, right, clicking on the down arrow and check on any of this particular customer key, you'll get to know that there is no any repeated or duplicate values under this customer key column, right? You can see there is only one value here. But whereas I go to my sales table now, if I go to my sales table, again, this is my sales table, right? I click on the sales table. Here also I have the customer key. But in this case, when I click on any of the customer key, I'll get to know that that particular customer key is repeated more than once. I can click on any of the customer key that you want to. So some of the customer keys will be repeated. Some of the customer keys, one or two customer keys might not get repeated. So let us check for any of the customer keys here. Okay. So just a minute. Let's say I'm just clicking on the first customer key. I'll click on OK. So one of the this particular customer key might not get repeated, but if you select any customer key, if you look at the data table here, let's say I'll click on here. Okay. If you check it, you'll get to see, you'll get to get some idea here. If I go down. Okay. There will be some customer keys which are getting repeated. So might not be every customer key is repeated, but there will be some repeated values. Okay. So as of now, just for your clarity, you can just check it out randomly and select any random customer key. So for me, if I check anything like this or anything, right? So here also it's taking one, but there will be some many to many. Okay. But I'm not sure which one because I have to check it like this most of the times. If I go down, let me check any of it. Okay. But why I'm, there because there are so many customer keys here. That's the problem. It's about 18,000 customer keys here, right? How did I come to know there are 18,000 customer keys? Because whenever you go to the data view or table view, you can get to see just below it how many rows are there. You can see 2,630 rows. Sorry, this is my sales table, right? 2,630 rows. So that means there are 2,630 records under the sales table, right? So it's very not possible for me to check each and every customer type like this, but there will be some repeated values, that's for sure. And how? Just you can take the logic of it because I'm in the sales table right now, right? So what is happening? One customer key. That means what? In my customer table, when I go, I'll be finding different customer keys here, right? Now, when one customer is, purchasing different products, let's say you are a customer, you are in an e-commerce market, okay? You are in shopping from Amazon, and you being a single customer, you have ordered 2-3 items, right? Then what will happen? Your customer key will be repeated 2-3 times based on the number of purchases that you have taken. So that is the logic behind it, right? So whenever I go to my sales table, what will happen? One customer key, not all the customer keys, but there will be some customer keys which is getting repeated. Why? Because that particular customer has taken many purchases together. That's why how many purchases he has taken, that many number of times his customer key will be represented. Okay, that's why this particular customer key inside the sales table is called the foreign key. Okay, now I just need to make a connection between the primary key and the foreign key. So I got to know the customer's table, customer key is the primary key, and in the customer sales table, the customer key is called the foreign key. Now what will I do here? I just have to go to manage relationships, make one more new connection. Okay, this time between the customer's table and the sales table, and you can see what is happening immediately. Customer key and customer key, right? But this time it is one to one. Okay, because why you know? Because I'm in my sales 2015 data, only 2015 data. If I would have taken 2016 and 17 data, I would have got repeated value of customer keys because I'm in only one of the sales data. That is why it's timing like that. Okay, so it's a one to one. I'll just click on OK. Fine. I made a connection between the sales table and the products, customers table and the sales table also, with the customer key as the common key between them. Now one more connection has got created between the sales table and the customers table. Okay, now what is left is your categories table. Okay, now this category table cannot be directly connected to customer sales and products table, because if you see, I have the category name and category key column here. I don't have these two names in customers table also, sales table also, and products table also. Okay, so what is happening? Here I cannot make a connection between this particular category table and the rest three tables because there is no possibility of any connection. So not necessary, whatever files you are importing, all the files will be connected to each other. There will be instances where some files might not have any common column between them. In that case, you cannot make a connection. Okay. So the connection between I have created is between the products table, sales table, and customers table. Right? Now I can make visuals based on these three tables. What will I do? This is one of the visuals that I have created. Right? Another visual. Let's take one more visual. Let's say I'm in my stack bar chart. I've created a bar chart here, and this bar chart will show me the um, top five customers having the highest or purchasing the highest order quantity. Okay, that means top five customers who have purchased the highest order quantity. That I want to check. Okay, how do I do that? Now it's based on top five customers. I'm not taking all the customers here. So I'm filtering my data, right? In that case, I can use this filter pane as well. How to use this filter pane? Let's see. I have created this stack bar chart, which is my first visual. And you can see immediately this y-axis and x-axis has come, right? So I have to drag the columns under this y-axis and x-axis. So in my y-axis, let me put on all the customers' name. That is the full name column under the y-axis. And in the x-axis, let me put the order quantity column. Okay. Now, if you see what is happening in this particular visual, I have all the customer names, right? You can see if I scroll down, you can get to see there are so many customers here. But I don't need to see all the customers in this particular visual. I need to see only the top five customers having the highest order quantity. So what will I do? In my filter pane, if you see, whatever column names I have dropped in inside my visualization, like so full name and sum of order quantity, this same thing has got reflected in my filter pane also, right? You can see here also I get to see the full name and order quantity, right? So now what I have to do here, I just want to filter out the data. How? Under the full name column, because what I want to see the top five customers, right? So here, if I go to the down arrow under this filter, under this full name, here I have three types of filtering: basic filter, advanced filter, and top end filter. Basic filter means what? When I only click on basic filtering, when you click on any of this particular customers randomly, only those customers will be seen in front of you. Okay. When I talk about advanced filter means what? Filtering based on conditions. Conditions means what? Greater than, less than, or text that contains all these things. Okay. And the last one, which is top end filter, this is the one that I'm using now, because in my this bar chart, I want to see the top end customers, top 5 customers having the highest order quantity. So here I'll be selecting the top end filter. So here I'll select top 5. I'll be writing here 5. And by value means what? By which value I want to see the top 5 customers based on their order quantity. So I bring this order quantity column and place it inside the values. Okay. And then when I click on apply filter, you'll be able to see. Okay. One more thing, guys. If I just go to my, if I go to my this view, model view, the sales table and the customers table have a one-on-one connection. There is not one-to-many connection, right? And the thing that I have done was regarding top 5 customers for the sales. Here you will not be able to see top 5 customers. Why? Because it's a one-to-one connection between the two tables. So instead of full name, let me take the products table. From the products table, I'll be taking the top 5 products having the highest order quantity. So I'll take the product name under the y-axis. Because why I'm taking product name? Because for the products table and sales table, I have one-to-many connection, right? That's why. So now when I go to my report view, and in this particular thing, this time I'll take the, let me cross this. Okay. So product name, I'll go to the down arrow. Here I'll be selecting the type of filter as top end filter. And here I'll select top 5. And by value, I'll be adding here the order quantity column from the sales table. I'll just drop it by value. That's it. I'll click on apply filter. And now you can see when I go to my focus mode on this particular visual, I'll get to see only the top 5 product names having the highest order quantity. Other product names will not be seen here. You can see here. So this is how you filter out the data for tables that you have created and made a connection between them. So in this particular visual, one part of data was taken from the products table, another part of data is taken from the sales table. As because both the tables are connected together with a one-to-many connection, that's why I was able to get the top 5 product names based on the order quantity. Okay. I hope everybody is clear with this kind of visuals, right? Yes. So you can change the aggregation. As of now, it is sum of order quantity for this particular visual, right? I can change this sum to average also. When I go to the down arrow, where the sum of order quantity I have dragged it, I'll just click on the down arrow, and here you can select the aggregation to average, minimum, maximum, count, whatever you want to. If you want to get the average, right, that is the top 5 product names having the highest average order quantity, I'll just click on average, not sum. Immediately it has got changed to average of order quantity. And for the top 5 products. Okay, this is how you do. I hope everyone got this particular thing clear. Yes. And in this way, you can create a number of visuals, right? These are some of the visuals that I have shown you all. Okay. So I hope I have tried to cover the very important aspects of Power BI desktop, which is data cleaning, which is creating relationships. Also, what is filter? How do you use filter in any visual, right? And how to create different visuals here. I hope everybody got this clear. So this you got some very good idea about Power BI, I believe, how to use Power BI, right? So this is what is what's there for you in the store. Yes, Akhil, certificate will be provided to you all. The team will get back to you all. Okay. And this is what we have. Now, guys, one more thing. I just want to share my screen for one more thing. If you like this particular master class, right? If you want to see more, what else, we you get to see of Power BI. What else you can learn in Power BI? I'll simply, if you want to know something about Geekster platform, what a Geekster does and what is it all about, then you can simply go to your, I'll show you a screen here. Okay, just give me a second, guys. Let me open the website. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. Uh, yeah, so that's the Geekster platform where you can just get the information, whatever you want to know about Geekster and what other things you can get offer from Geekster, right? What are the different courses we are having, right? And there. And also, if you want a demo class, you can see right up below here, right? Start a demo class now. You can get a demo session also from us. It will be happening on every Wednesday. One demo session will be there, but at what time you'll be notified by the team. Okay, and that's all, guys, for me as of now. Thank you, guys, for the session. I hope you all have loved it. Please, make use of all the knowledge that has been shared to you all in this masterclass. Please practice. The data sets has already been given to you, and also the how to install Power BI desktop in your system will also be there for you. Okay, so it's also there. I've shared a document as well. Install the Power BI desktop using those instructions and try to implement everything that I have taught you in this particular session. Okay. So that's all, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great evening. Yeah.